If you were to ask me my understanding of the mission and the purpose of the church, it's succinctly summed up in the Great Commission, where Jesus tells his disciples, go and make other disciples, teach them, baptize them, help them to understand who God is and what it means to follow Christ. That commission or mission is still in place today and is one of the main things I believe we're called to do as a community of faith. How are we growing as disciples? I'm excited to invite you to engage with us this fall using a tool called the Essential Commandment. It's a resource by Greg Ogden as he reflected upon that question that Jesus answered when the scribe came to him and said, "What is the greatest commandment?" Jesus famously answered that question by quoting from the Shema, Deuteronomy 6, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength." And the second commandment is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. So Greg Ogden pondered those two things. Are they just aspirational statements? What does that actually look like? And is it possible to love God with everything that we have, everything in our being, and to love our neighbors as ourselves? And he concludes that yes, Jesus is giving us a command, but something that we can achieve. And so the invitation this fall is to not only read and reflect upon those two great commandments, but to do it in the company of others. This resource, I believe, is great for a couple of reasons. One is it encourages one-on-one mentoring and discipling relationships or triads meeting together. This Christian life that we're called to is not meant to be something that we do on our own, but something that we share with others. And those kinds of intimate relationships where we're studying Scripture and praying with one another, where we're sharing what's on our hearts, those are great pathways for experiencing transformation and spiritual growth. I'm also excited about this during this time because it has been difficult for us to meet together. Some of our groups that normally are meeting in person have either moved online or are kind of struggling to determine what does that look like this fall. I've also heard people say, gosh, I really miss seeing so-and-so. I think because of those reasons, this is the perfect time to invite you to consider who might you want to engage with in looking at this resource together. Are there one or two people that you would like to sit down with, that you'd be comfortable either in your backyard or outside or in your living room and experience what all this means with one another? So that's the invitation. If you'd like to learn more about this, on September 22nd, we're going to have an orientation meeting and explain more about the resource and about how to get started. But I would invite you to begin praying about this and pray, is there one or two people, perhaps in the life of the church, or maybe someone that you are connected with in your life in another way, whether it's your family or friends in another state. We've learned, haven't we, that we can be in communication with people all around the globe. And so I want to invite you and encourage you to really think about how might this unusual time be the perfect time for you to grow in a relationship with Christ and with others.